guys, Tinman here, and welcome to my 5.4 Arms Warrior PvP guide. I know I haven't really been making any guides lately, but I will try and keep up on them. I'm thinking about doing a new Warlock guide, Affliction and Destruction, and maybe even some Demonology. And, well, I already have my Rogue one up, my Assassination, so I might do a sub one, and I also might do a Fury Warrior guide. But anyways, you guys are here for Arms Warrior, so let's get straight into it. As for talents, I go with either Warbringer or Double Time. Warbringer, your charge no longer stuns, instead pinning your target to the ground and rooting it for 4 seconds and reducing movement speed by 50% for 15 seconds. But in PvP, it goes like 7 seconds or whatever slows do in this game. It could be, an entire year. But yeah. Or I also use Double Time. You can use charge twice in a row. Each use has a 20-second recharge time. Charge can only grant rage once every 12 seconds. So basically you have 2 charges exactly like it says. Juggernaut's a good one. 12-second charge instead of 20. 8 seconds, It's also good. I like having that double charge, just in case I charge and I accidentally screw up my charge and I have another one. So, it's always good. So either Warbringer or Double Time. As for the level 30 talent, I take Second Wind. Who doesn't take Second Wind? It's overpowered. And I'm not even going to go into these other ones because they're not really, level 45, I take either Piercing Howl or Disrupting Shout. Piercing Howl for melee comps or melee fighters, and Disrupting Shout for spellcasters or healers. Disrupting Shout interrupts all spell casting within 10 yards and prevents any spell in that school from being cast for 4 seconds, 40-second cooldown. So basically it's another interrupt. You got your Pummel, which is an interrupt, melee interrupt, and you have Disrupting Shout, which is a ranged interrupt, 10 yards. So that's always good if you can't really get near the healer or spellcaster and you want to get them silenced. Okay, let's move on to the level 60. Bladestorm, they really made it good, especially if you pair it with Bloodbath, or I'll get to Bloodbath later. Bladestorm, you become a whirling storm of destructive force, striking all targets within 8 yards for 180% weapon damage every 1 second for 6 seconds. During Bladestorm, you can continue to dodge, block, and parry, and are immune to movement impairing and loss of control effects. So basically, you are well, you're not really indestructible. You can still die. You can still dodge, block, parry. You can't be feared or stunned or anything. So you're basically immune to CC while you're in this. So it's really good. Shockwave's another good one for if you want to get those stuns out, but it's only really good in 3s when you can get 3 together, and it reduces the cooldown when you hit 3 targets or so. So I take Bladestorm because they really made it good. As for the level 75 talent, I take Mass Spell Reflect. Reflects the next spell cast on you and on all party and raid members within 20 yards for 5 seconds, 1 minute cooldown. So you basically have another Spell Reflect. Safeguard's good if you're doing 2s with a healer and you can, safeguard to them and take a deep freeze or something from them, or a trap. It's just another way of eating stuff. But Spell Reflect's good. And for the level 90 talent, Bloodbath. I take Bloodbath because it is really good if you pair it with the Bladestorm. It's a 1 minute cooldown for the next 12 seconds, causes your melee special attacks to deal an additional 30% damage as a bleed over 6 seconds. While bleeding, the target moves at 50% reduced speed. So basically when you're Bladestorming and you hit them with this, they're slowed. So you're hitting them with your Bladestorm constantly, and if you do that in a group of people, like in Temple of Katamoku, the damage really does its toll. But yeah, these are the talents I use: Double Time or Warbringer, Second Wind, Disrupting Shout or Piercing Howl, Bladestorm, Shockwave, and Mass Spell Reflect, and Bloodbath. On to Glyphs. These are interchangeable just depending on what you want to do. I use Glyph of Blitz. Your charge also stuns an additional 2 nearby targets. Really good for 3s. Glyph of Death from Above reduces the cooldown on Heroic Leap by 15 seconds. I think this one is a must-have. Just, close gaps and whatever, And I also take Glyph of Mortal Strike. When your Mortal Strike is affecting a target, healing effects on you are increased by 10%. But these two can be changed out. I've seen people who take... let's see. Where are they at? I don't really have them because I haven't really been keeping up on it. Where are they at? I can't find them. Let's see. Bull Rush isn't one that people use to charge during its 15 additional rage, but I use these three. They're really good, especially for 3s with the Glyph of Blitz. And then what are these? Minor glyphs don't really matter, so I'm not even going to go into those. As for gems, I use for red, it's either 80 strength, 160 crit, so that is the inscribed onyx, or I can use the, what's it called, the bold primordial ruby. Now, there's the vermilion onyx, 80 strength, 160 crit. I don't have any bolds in my gear, I don't think. I just go with the crit. By the way, crit is your best friend as an arms warrior, so you reforge crit. As for the blue gems, 160 crit and 80 PvP power. This gem right here, Radiant Wild Jade, or its counterpart. I can't remember the name of it, but it might be cheaper, it might be more expensive. As for the yellow gem, you should already know, it's the Smooth Sun's Radiance, 320 critical strike. Let's see. Like I said, reforging. You want to reforge crit, and if it already has crit on it, you need Mastery. Mastery grants a 32% chance, well, based on your Mastery, grants a chance for your melee to instantly trigger an additional melee attack for 55% normal damage. So basically you get another auto attack. And with that, you can proc your... where's it at? Taste for Blood, no, it's the Mortal Strike. Sudden Death, right here. You auto attack and Strikes of Opportunity hits. Strikes of Opportunity is your Mastery. Have a 10% chance of resetting the cooldown on your Colossus Smash. Your Execute hits have a 100% chance of making any overpower free for 10 seconds. So it's really good to have Mastery and Crit for your main stats. I think that's all I can go into today. Please leave a like and a comment, and I'll probably be doing more videos. This has been Tinman, and I'll see you guys in the next chapter.